Welcome to Under Attack, a men's podcast dealing with men's issues, featuring Rocco, a father in crisis, that baby blue bear bitch, another female MRA, one of the few that we trust, and of course, myself, Texas Desert Sailor. Today's topics are going to include, well, I'll let you take that.
We're going to be talking about TikTok and how it is essentially just sexist against men. It censors a lot of speech, but specifically men's speech on the app. We're going to be talking, then hopefully moving into another topic about kind of talking about the same thing about a specific viral TikTok that went viral with Cupcake Mom, the mom who was crying over the cupcake, and her ex husband came out and said, start revealing her past. A lot to talk about on that cultural issue, and then if we have time, we're going to move into how lawmakers are making it just automating the selective services process, meaning young men no longer have to sign up; they will just automatically be signed up. So those will be the topics of today. Those are the things right now that's going to be part of our pilot episode. So our first issue is TikTok and its sexism towards men. I think all of us have had plenty of experience on TikTok since it came about, where we were censored. Blue was one of my very first followers on TikTok. She grew her account even bigger than my first account, and she, even as a woman, faced a lot of sexism because of her focus on men's issues. So that's what we're going to talk about today. In Texas, why don't we start with you with your experiences as talking about men's issues through TikTok?
Well, I didn't start TikTok with men's issues, to be honest. I started TikTok watching a farm video. And when I downloaded the app, I was mainly in conservative TikTok, 2A, Constitution, that kind of stuff. And I had one particular video. I've had several videos go viral, but I had my first one that went viral was a video where I had spoken about teaching my son to respect women, teaching him to be polite to women, teaching him to have manners with women, teaching him to, you know, treat them fairly, but to never trust them. And that video got up to like 500,000 views in 3 days, and I got attacked. And that's really what kind of kind of just started pushing me towards men's issues. And so I did a couple videos, and one follower who is still a follower to this day keeps in contact with me. He's a single dad, uh, and he had sent me a private message saying, "Man, I didn't realize I was alone." And that kind of hit hard because he was in a bad spot at that point with his relationship, his son's mother, his child, and he was in a very dark place. And that's kind of what flipped the switch for me. Like almost instantly, I went from doing conservative TikTok straight over to men's issues because at that point in my life, I was, dealing with a early teenage son and having his issues and realizing what was happening to me. And that's what pushed me over the edge. And I just started doing men's content. And I thought I was having problems getting videos seen with the conservative content. It was 100 times worse once I started doing men's content.
Yeah, absolutely. And personally, I started my content was always about men's issues or fathers' rights issues and stuff like that. And I would constantly get attacked by radical feminists normally, or bitter moms who would basically try to deny the fact that the family court systems are basically completely biased against men, and women had complete upper hands when it came to these things. And I was able to grow my first account up to almost 50,000 followers, which was pretty good back in 2020 when most of the people on the app were young women, people under the age of 30. So I was able to get a decent following, and just like how you said, I had a lot of men almost once a week say I thought I was the only one going through this stuff. They said they were about to put a pew pew in their mouth and in a couple days until they came across my content. And so yeah, it's always been like that for me because I was always talking about this stuff. But like I said, my first account got banned 2 weeks before the American general election, where Biden ended up getting elected. Um, and it was weird because I never talked about politics, like or big politics. You know, I maybe would talk about a equal shared parenting bill in a certain state and encourage people to support that bill and support the people that were voting for that bill. But other than that, I didn't talk politics because I knew if I start talking about politics, well, that'll just be another group of people to try to take down the channel. And so, um, and now every time I get an account over 10,000, I just get the account's gone. And it's clear that TikTok does not want talk about men's issues. And we'll go into that a little bit more. But Blue, what about your experience and the hate and the censorship you got talking about men's issues?
I'm not too sure. Like nowadays, it's a lot worse than what it was when I first started. Like I think it was because I was a girl that like when I first started talking about it, my videos got thousands and thousands of views every single time. But I think the like biggest thing that I did at one point was when they were doing the cam hashtag, when the cam hashtag came back. I had about 50,000 followers at that point.
Well, explain real quick what the cam hashtag was for people who
Oh,
don't
the
know.
kill all men hashtag.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I got really mad and I was like, well, if it's all right to say that, then this bitch is going to start a cow hashtag, and all of my followers jumped on board, and that went viral for a few weeks. And yeah, I copped a lot of hate for that, but I wasn't mad about it.
right. Right, yeah. I remember that. So TikTok had this uh, viral thing going on. This was years ago though, where it was kill all men hashtag KAM kill all men, and they even had a song. They even had a song that people were using to uh, attach their videos, making different TikToks about killing all men. And that was allowed for a very very long time on this app. That hashtag. Yet during when they banned me, my first account, they banned a lot of men's creators, and a lot of them didn't come back. A lot of men who were talking about like hashtag MGTOW, men going their own way, the red pill, all this other stuff. We were all gone within 2 days. 2 days of each
Yeah.
other. It was a mass. It was a mass banning by TikTok. So that was, and not only did they ban me, they just didn't ban my account. They hardware banned me, not IP banned me. Hardware banned me, meaning I couldn't even use TikTok on my phone anymore, unless I
Hmm.
hard restarted it and wiped everything clean and everything. So that's how bad they banned me, and yet they allow a hashtag of kill all men on this app, and that kind of brings me to other hashtags that they support. The hashtag B4B movement is somewhat similar to the hashtag MGTOW movement, men going their own way, but the female version. But the female version is well, we hate women or hate men, and therefore we don't want to be with them or have relationships with them, have their children, anything, because men suck and we don't want to be with them. So that's
There was a woman,
go ahead.
there was a woman who's from the country where that originated. I come across like because yeah, as we all know, it was going viral. But a woman from the country that originated from stitched one of the American women trying to push the narrative and was like, I don't think you guys realize that that's not as big over here as you guys seem to think it is. Like a lot of women aren't behind that movement. Like we're pretty content with how we are. And like I read her comments and like so many of like white American women were like going off at her And I was just like, how are you gonna fucking tell a woman who's living in the country where this originated from that she doesn't know what she's on about?
Right. Yeah.
Like,
It was
the
South.
audacity.
Yeah, it was South Korea, I believe. That's where it came from, and
Mhm.
and it wasn't because even though the movement is small over there, it's more has to do with economics. That
Yeah,
it's too expensive to be in a relationship and have children, so why bother? So that was actually a bigger part of the movement. It wasn't because Korean women thought Korean men sucked and were bad and all this other stuff. So it was so the Americans basically just took the name and made it their own. But
they
that
co-opted it.
right, exactly, and they that hashtag is searchable on TikTok. You can put it in your you know, descriptions of your TikToks and everything like that. All good, but I will show a TikTok showing how, for example, TikTok will censor hashtag red pill and hashtag MGTOW. You can't search that hashtag, and it won't even come up on your description. And I'll show that real quick here.
I believe they're starting to do it with the hashtag men's mental health and men's mental health matters.
Yeah, we'll be getting to that. To me, but not shown to other people.
I feel it's actually
So
kind
my
of
description is
disingenuous to
up
compare the
top.
two
It
because
shows who I was
the
stitching.
females that
Then
are
it shows the
pushing the
hashtag
hashtag
MGTOW, red
4B,
pill,
the
and
4B movement here
hashtag
in the
4B.
States,
And you will
they
notice
literally
that.
say, we hate men and we want nothing to do with them and they suck and whatever. MGTOW is basically saying, we just don't like the dating scene. We've dated. We don't want to do it no more. We're just going to go do our own thing. They never actually said, we hate women.
Right. So I don't know if you were able to hear that or not. Um, but can you hear it? So I'll show you how bad
No.
TikTok actually. Okay. So again,
I could hear it.
oh, you could.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'm not watching the stream, though, so that may make a difference.
yeah, it is, and I'll show you what it looks for me because my hashtags and my description is being shown to me, but not shown to other people. So my description is up top. It shows who I was stitching, and it shows the
I guess I
hashtag
should. I
MGTOW,
just don't
red pill,
know if it'll
and
interfere,
hashtag
but let me
4B.
try.
And you will notice that the hashtag 4B is the only one in bold, which means you can actually go ahead and click on it, and it will show you all the videos with that tag, and it's not showing those. But then I found out the reason that it is not, this description is not being shown at all is because TikTok won't even show your description when you put in hashtags it doesn't like. So not only is the hashtags not searchable, it's not even showing in the description at all. So this again goes to show you that women's movements are perfectly fine, but men's movements will be censored. So I'll show you how bad. Okay, so that TikTok I just showed how red pill, hashtag red pill, and hashtag MGTOW are not able. You're not even able to post it or put it in your description. It will censor your whole description of your video, so that won't even show. And the funny thing is, so this TikTok that I showed, I was me responding on one of my other TikToks how they couldn't see the hashtags, and so I had to search it. And the funny thing is, when I look up my own account on my desktop, it won't show that TikTok. The original TikTok that I had, I can't find it on the desktop. I can only find it when I go into my phone. So that's
Well,
also
there's
One,
so it's censoring the because in that original one I hashtagged red pill and MGTOW, so it's not coming up on desktop.
there's one I posted the other day, probably about a week ago or something now, and like I've been going on about it since it happened because it annoyed me. But the original stitch was a friend of mine that posted it, and I do edit it to like put it on my profile, and I put the hashtag men's mental health matters and a few others. But that whole video would not. It's still sitting there waiting to be verified weeks later. But then somebody else that I knew went to that exact same account, like my friend who originally posted it, did the exact same thing I did, didn't like added his own hashtags. It got posted. So I went over to his account duetted it from there and didn't put any hashtags, and it was public within seconds.
Right. Exactly. So, um,
I did learn a trick from another creator, and it makes it easier to search my own stuff. And I started doing it fairly early on, probably my second account. Um, I hashtag everything, hashtag Texas Desert Sailor. So that hashtag, I can always go back and search that hashtag, and I can find up anything that's been done with that hashtag, which is pretty much all my content. So it allows me to find stuff that maybe another hashtag won't let me find.
right. Well, I don't want to give TikTok any ideas of what to ban, of like a father's crisis hashtag or something, like because I know that that'll be next. You know, I mean, it's insane. So we're gonna look at another TikTok. Blue just mentioned it beforehand. Actually, this month we didn't say this month is Men's Mental Health Month. So I guess it's kind of good that we're starting our podcast in this month. So, but if you're TikTok, you couldn't give a shit about men. So what do? You ban the hashtag Men's Mental Health Matters. Yes, that's right. TikTok has banned that hashtag, and we'll look at that right now.
Look, 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 look. Look, 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 look at this. Somebody come
Yep.
look at this. Look at this. Somebody come and look at this.
So this guy,
Wow.
yeah. So that guy
Wow.
got a violation. It says this hashtag Men's Mental Health Matters may be associated with behavior or content that violates our community guidelines and cannot be restored. So apparently, men's mental health is a violation of TikTok standards. So go TikTok. You are a terrific company that hates men. So I don't know how worse they could be. Like honestly, like TikTok is one of the worst social media apps to censor. It's worse than Facebook and Instagram. X is a lot better, but TikTok was worse when Twitter was bad. I don't know. I don't know if it's the AI that's doing this or there's particular feminist or extreme left wing people in TikTok purposely doing these things or both.
I think it's a combination of both
Yeah.
because the AIs are so quick to keep stuff just the second you like Blue, the second you post it, and it's not even allowed to get there. That has to be AI driven. There's something in her the hashtag that instantly put it under review and it stopped. That's an AI issue. That's
Yeah, I
that's
reckon
nothing
it's
that's human
definitely
driven.
something to do with like the system. Like it would have to be put in through TikTok's end, like into the system that there's some like certain things that are triggering the AI to remove it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I totally agree. I think it's definitely both. Because I don't know. I don't know if TikTok. It is so weird that after my first ban, every single account I've had, all it had to do is reach 10,000, and that was it. Like almost immediately, as soon as I hit over 10,000, there has to be a wanted poster in the TikTok guidelines office somewhere, wanted dead or alive. If he's over 10K, get him the fuck out of here or something. I don't know what it is, but it's insane. Like that's not AI driven. It's not like, oh, watch for this person, and as soon as I hit 10K, get rid of them. I must be flag like there must be something getting flagged where someone's actually going into my account and banning it, because a lot of these times when I had 10,000, there was one account I didn't have any violations, and they just banned my account, didn't give me any warning, no nothing, just gone, and couldn't win the appeal. So like it's really weird that this stuff is happening. And that specific issue I can't see being AI driven. It has to be someone at TikTok who has my poster up, in the office somewhere. That's the only thing. It's like, how else is this happening? I don't understand it.
Watch out for this fucking guy.
Right? Yeah. It's like I have a feeling they probably have people who review accounts that are between 0 followers to 9,999, and then it gets bumped up to like 10,000 to 100,000 followers. People. I have a feeling it's probably separate right there. And then as soon as I hit that's why as soon as I hit the 10K, I get put in a different review process. And there's some fucking cunt there looking at my account and be like, this bitch. Like, I just know it. I probably have to censor that word out if we're going to put that on YouTube. So apologies. But see you next Tuesday out there. Oh, this freaking guy, I don't know. But we'll move on to the next subject, which is this cupcake mom. I think most of you have heard about her. Elizabeth.
I saw Blue's face.
I know. Blue was so sick of me talking about this bitch. Like, she's so sick of it. But she's a trooper. Because I've been going after this woman on TikTok. I mean, come on. Some of my TikToks about her are fucking hilarious. Like, I'm sorry, they're funny. But
I've seen it. I've seen some of them, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Everybody has to appreciate the shout out video for just $3 a day.
Yes, that too. That was great. So, let's read through an article, or read through parts of this article here. And so, most of the viewers have probably seen this. People have been talking about this to death. This happened a couple weeks ago, so we're a little bit behind the ball. But again, this is our first episode, so cut us a break. Ex-husband reveals mom's dark past after tearful B-Day cake video went viral. So this is, you probably remember, this is her. This is Elizabeth Teckenbrock, crying in front, setting up her phone, making sure it starts recording after 10 seconds so she can get teary-eyed enough to go ahead and post this stuff. The funny thing is, once I first saw this video, I just kind of laughed at it, and I'm like, oh, poor single mom. Like, I'm a poor single mom thing. And so I scrolled past it. I didn't care.
I thought it was absolutely pathetic, to be honest. Like, I did the exact same thing. I was just scrolling my FYP, came across it, and I was like, oh, look, another dumb bitch crying. Like, what? I don't know what about women possesses them to pick up their phone when they're crying and record themselves. Like, that is, no, bitch. Like, no, stop.
Well, for me, it was just, okay, she's making a play for sympathy here. This was all just ego driven, just fake pandering is what it was for. So I didn't even really pay much attention to it, to be honest.
Right. And like, so I think we all felt the same way, and we just like rolled our eyes and be like, oh, this bitch, and then just scroll past it, and that was it. Well, like a day or two later, her ex-husband, Andrew Cormier, basically revealed that she doesn't even have custody of her kids. Now, granted, she has 4 kids, 3 baby daddies, and Andrew has 2 kids with her. And she doesn't have any custody of those kids. Now, she does have custody of her older 2 kids, 2 different dudes. But he also came out and said that she faked cancer back in 2020, 2021, and scammed a whole bunch of people. And that she basically didn't want her kids, and she's $21,000 behind in her child support. And she got arrested for felony fraud. So that was interesting, and I didn't even care then to really talk about this stuff, because it's like, oh, this bitch got found out, that'll be the end of it. Until, another huge TikToker who has 11 million followers, her name is Mama Tot. She stuck her nose.
You really trying to get us targeted, eh?
Oh, fuck that bitch. Like you have a responsibility.
She's big on TikTok. She's not big on YouTube or anything else that I'm aware of.
Oh, but if anybody finds out that we talked about her, you know what? Good, because it'll drive up the views. Thanks for watching, Mama Tot followers. Go fuck yourself. Now listen. So the Mama Tot comes on the fucking scene here, right? And she doesn't have the ability to just look 5 minutes into anything Andrew said. Like, you don't have to believe Andrew.
Why would they? Why would they though? He's just a man. There's a pretty little blonde girl crying on TikTok about not being able to see her kids, or not, about having to make her own birthday cake. Sorry,
Right.
correction. Why would they believe him?
Right. I
Why?
mean, that's true. Pretty, pretty blonde, crying with her fake tits and makeup and everything, and her millions of filters. It's
So
just a
I am going to
shame.
say, prior to this, I actually was a Mama Tot fan prior to this. I watched
So
her
was I.
videos. She had some good videos. I did like Mama Tot. My
Hmm.
problem was with Mama Tot is you have 11 million followers. You are a large creator. You have a responsibility to vet your stories before you open your mouth so that you don't end up looking stupid later.
Right.
And she failed to
Yeah.
do that entirely in this case.
Not even just failed to do that, but got a mob to attack Andrew. So she comes out and basically says, because Andrew did have a TikTok for 2 years warning people about Elizabeth. Now he never stitched any of her videos until this viral one went through. So for 2 years he didn't like stitch her or anything like that, or use any of her videos from her account. He was just warning the people about her and her scams that she's run, the trouble that she's got into, and her refusing really to want to see her own kids. That was what his TikTok was about. So Mama Tot comes out on the scene and says, I know what narcissism looks like, and then says Andrew's a narcissist and attacking Elizabeth, and because of her own experiences, her prior relationships, she can see what's really going on here, and Elizabeth's the victim. And this was really kind of before the whole cancer thing was really like people were proving it like night and day, because all you got to do is hashtag Crowmere Strong or Cormere Strong, which was her married name back in the day on TikTok, and you will find some of her cancer videos. And she never had it. She put a fake port in, a fake port. That's how far she went to put a fake port in, take pictures, have a GoFundMe, all this stuff. And on my YouTube, all I have a live where her whole family, her own family, has come out against her, saying that she did all this stuff, she destroyed their family, all this stuff. So all this stuff that Andrew came out was true, and you could see this in court documents. All you had to do is look up her name, and all these court documents come up. She is a vile person. She if anybody, she was the abuser. But Mama Tot comes with no evidence and just says, I feel, and I just, she's projected her own past relationships on this issue and told 11 million followers this guy's a narcissist and Elizabeth is a victim. So she sent 11 million people to attack a single father trying to do his best to care for his kids, and a man who was warning people of a bad person in her scams, and then conversely sent 11 million people to Elizabeth to support her for her to scam. So
Hey Tex, can you when Rocco's talking, can you mute yourself because I can hear him talking through your speakers.
Is it coming through?
Yeah.
there we go. Sorry,
All right.
Tex.
Thank you.
But yeah, so it's insane. It is insane that that's when I start looking into all this stuff and independently found all this stuff. But yeah, and this kind of goes into the sexism in society where women can just project their past feelings and just immediately hate a man, even though there is so much overwhelming evidence that the woman is bad. You get a whole bunch of people coming to her defense. So
Yeah.
it's insane.
I think that is what like kind of frustrated me a bit is like we have all been decently sized creators and toot toot me being the biggest one out of most of us here. But I'm joking. It's like
You're not really
you
joking,
can't
but it's true. But it's a little unfair because I feel like if I never got banned, I probably would have been bigger than you at one point. But it's all right.
oh yeah, keep dreaming.
Well, let's
Anyway.
be fair. Let's be fair about it though. They try to shut men down quickly and without prejudice. So we never had a chance to get as big as Blue did.
True.
No. But like it's the buzzwords for me that really piss me the fuck off when it comes to these situations. How is every woman on this platform going to sit there and go, "Oh, I know a narcissist when I see one." I feel like they forget that every single human being on the face of the planet embodies narcissistic traits. We all have at least 10 of them. It's how bad they are. It's the severity of them. Like I don't like he was in the live that day. I don't think like he was very like I'm not talking about these particular topics because I don't know enough about them or I can't give you accurate information on them. They're not my business, not my problem type of thing. A narcissist wouldn't do that. A narcissist would think that he knew everything and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, blah blah blah, spin the story, spin the narrative to suit him." You can't look at somebody who has made one 15-second video back to somebody who's lying and go, "You're the narcissist," without being completely fucking delusional.
Yeah.
Like believing your own bullshit. That's my piece on that.
Yeah, absolutely. What do you think, Tex?
He did. I was on that live also. He very frequently, like Blue said, he's like, I don't know enough about that. I'm not going to talk about that. Yeah, narcissists don't do that. The fact is the word narcissist is thrown around so freely nowadays that it's almost lost its effectiveness and its meaning. Oh, you're a narcissist means nothing to me anymore because so many fucking people use that word that it's lost its meaning.
Yeah.
At this point. What's disturbing is if Mama Tot had literally done a 20 minutes of research and could just found out pull up the court records, pull up the 5 unfounded DV cases, pull up the 3 felony fraud cases, pull up I mean the $21,000 in back child support, pull up the fact that she has to go to court and all she has to do is these 3 minimal things to see her kids and she refuses to do it. That might have changed Mama Tot's perspective, but she refused to even do that because she was aligned into a narrative.
Yeah. The excuses that these followers, and they were mostly Mama Tot followers who then followed Elizabeth and support her, the excuses that they would use were very extreme. And so even when these people realized she faked cancer, like when you fake cancer to elicit money from people and destroy your own family, not a lot of people would show that kind of person a lot of grace, even years later, because that was such an offensive thing to do. But now with this man-hating kind of society where every man's a narcissist, there was a couple women who said in the comment sections of some of these videos that I made that if I was abused by Andrew, I would fake cancer too. That's how far some of these women, they completely acknowledge she faked cancer, completely acknowledge she has all these faults. But they are so believing that Andrew was abusive that anything this woman could literally unalive people, and they were like, it's due to Andrew's abuse. This Elizabeth thing is a prime example of women not holding other women accountable. She owes $21,000 in child support, 3 counts felony fraud, convicted for fraudulently writing checks. She multiple evictions from homes. She tried during their divorce 5 times, unfounded DV cases. She was trying to silver bullet the whole case. And the faking of the cancer. that's the big one, and destroying her family. That's all excusable because Andrew's apparently a narcissist who abused her. That's the allegation that she rose. Also saying he was a Scientologist, which even her own family denies he's one. He has denied it. There's absolutely zero evidence he's one. And that's usually one of those religions, like if you deny it, it's like not a good thing for you to do that. So it's insane the lengths that women will go to excuse the bad behavior of other women. So I don't know if you guys have anything else you want to say about that.
It's proven over and over again, especially on platforms like TikTok, just how far women are willing to excuse such disgusting behavior within like other women. Like you kind of said before about, she could probably kill somebody and they'd still excuse it. It's like we've watched that happen, not like specifically with Elizabeth, but like how many fucking videos have we come across of women unaliving their own children? And oh, it's okay because it was mental health.
Right. Oh, she was. They always try to find a man that who. Her father 45 years ago abused her, and so that's probably what she's been
Or
dealing with.
they try and blame it, like they blame push, as I like to call it, where they're like, well, maybe that wouldn't have happened if the dad was around. And it's like, where the fuck, why isn't the dad there? Like, it's not just like, yeah, we all know that there are deadbeat dads as well, but it's like maybe there's a reason, and maybe it's not him that's the reason why he's not there.
Yeah,
You can't just excuse these women's behavior and be like, oh, well, maybe if dad was around, or maybe, if the man was around. It's like, why the fuck isn't he there?
yeah,
Don't push the blame. They committed the act.
absolutely.
I do find it interesting because we need to give credit where credit's due. After Mama Tot came out, and I'm not real familiar with Big Texas Swole, but it seemed like a few other larger creators wanted to jump on the bandwagon for views and for clout additionally. And in addition to that, again, without doing any research and without looking into it, I think we can all agree, all three of us here, um, we'll call a man out for his shitty behavior as quickly as we'll call a woman out, but we'll look into it first. We'll see what the facts are first. We'll see what the evidence is first. We'll see what the receipts are first. But Andrew was given none of that grace from anybody. They strictly believe the pretty white girl, bad white man, bad. It was automatic.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's a huge problem. This case, this TikTok viral video and back and forth, it just really summarizes the feelings of women toward men, that they will automatically just believe a woman when she throws out accusations with zero receipts. A man, and this is how family court works, by the way. Women can just throw out whatever accusation they want. A man can come with receipts to show that he's not the problem. In fact, it's her that's the problem. And people will be like, nah, we don't care. Like, all that stuff you're talking about that she's did is because of your abuse. And because a pretty woman like that couldn't do it all on her own. Like
Absolutely no accountability.
right, we infantilize a lot women, especially the prettier that they are. We infantilize them more. That we treat pretty women like children in society. Like they're not accountable for their actions. They don't know what's going on, and if they do something wrong, it's the parents' fault, or it's it's a man's fault. It's someone else's fault that they're doing that. So it's just crazy.
But Rocco, women are more in tune with their emotions and they mature faster than men at a younger age. Even they're more mature than men.
Right. Well,
Please stop talking shit.
I think what happens is, women mature faster than I think girls mature faster than boys. But as soon as women hit the age of 17, they stop. So like,
well, this is something that I've heard a lot, and like since being on TikTok, I've really thought about that. Like I've really dissected that statement, because how can you sit here and tell me women mature faster when I've watched some of the most immature bitches sit there on these very public platforms, and the second you come at them with logic, they cry. They fucking cry.
Yeah.
Or they get mad. And you're gonna tell me that women are more emotionally mature? No. We may feel our emotions differently, which in turn can make people think that we're more emotionally mature. But from what I've seen, besides the anger side for men, which like can be seen throughout history, I honestly believe that men are probably a bit more emotionally mature. But then I can't, like, when you think about it that way, it's like, well, are they emotionally mature, or have they just been told to get the fuck over their feelings? Whereas women have been told that they can express theirs no matter what way, shape, or fucking form, which usually turns them to having an absolute fucking bitch fit. And now, thanks to social media, they can have that bitch fit to 50,000 people that feel the same as they do.
Right. It's the equivalent of throwing a tantrum in the middle of the grocery store. You know, that's
So
what it is.
I think you're on. I think you're onto something, Blue.
Except
There. I
that
think
one's there forever.
That's true. Yeah.
women are expected to express their emotions in any way they see fit. That's socially accepted. It's socially accepted. Men need to stifle it, keep it in, and not. We don't want to hear about your feelings, men. We don't want to hear about it. You're expected to get the job done. Produce, produce, produce. Sacrifice yourself for society. We don't need to hear about your problems. So men don't talk about it. Just the way it is.
Yeah. But so we're running at 40 minutes. Do we want to go into the next story or do we want to cut it off there? I think 30, 40 minutes is usually a good time to stop, but it's up to you guys.
The next topic's probably going to take a little bit more than these other two topics did. So I think you might want to cut there.
Okay, so we are going to cut there then. So thank you, everybody, for watching. We need you to like this video. We need you to follow us on YouTube and comment. All that stuff. Subscribe to us as well. So when we're going to try to do one every week, probably uploaded sometime on Saturdays at some point. So we really would like for you to be able to do all that stuff for us. It's really quick. Like, say, hey, great episode, or keep doing what you're doing. Anything like that to help with the algorithm, because we're a brand new channel and obviously our production isn't the best, and we definitely want to, if we're going to do these videos every week, we definitely want to be able to give you the best product. So, you know, definitely help us out in that area as well. So again, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll let Blue say goodbye, and then Texas, you'll bring us out.
Bye.
Quick and to the point. All right.
I would also add, folks, if you have a particular topic you want us to talk about, put it in the comments. Let us know what you want us to talk about, what you want to hear about, what issues you may be going through that you want some advice about. And we'll be happy to address that also. But for our first podcast, big shout out, thank you to Rocco and Blue, and we appreciate anybody that comes in. Feel free to follow everybody over on the YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram, wherever the accounts may be. We appreciate it. And remember, this is under attack. These are men's issues, and we're here to support and educate men.
Thank you. Welcome to Under Attack. Please watch for us next week.